Shalom, brothers and sisters. I want to take you to Exodus chapter 33, and it's the piece where Moses speaks to God face to face. Now, I'm just going to read verse 11 for you quickly from 33, and it says, So the Lord, Yahweh, spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend, and he would return to the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, did not depart from the tabernacle. Moses had a relationship with Yahweh as a friend, face to face. And his servant, the man who followed him, his disciple, Joshua, would not depart from the sanctuary, the place where God met with the people. He was dedicated. He stayed there. He was following in the path that Moses followed. He was watching what he did, and he was striving for that same relationship of being a friend of God. But the point I want to get to is in verse 13. Moses says to God, Now therefore I pray, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you, and that I may find grace in your sight, and consider this nation is your people. Now, interesting thing here is he begins his request by appealing to grace first. We are saved by grace, not by works or any action of our own, just by God's grace. Now, we are saved by that grace. He appeals to that grace before he begins with his request. Then he says, Show me your way. Your way, not my way, not the world's way, your way, that I may know you, follow you, seek you, want to be like you, come before you, bow down before you, worship you, be worthy of you. And then he comes back to grace again, that I might find grace in your sight. Begins with grace, gives his request, ends with grace. And we are your people. God's response in verse 14, and he said, My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. What more do we need at this stage? And living in the times we're living in right now, we know this more than any. I don't need riches. I don't need a palace. I don't even need anything special in heaven. I just need his presence, and I need rest. We need rest from our labors. We need rest from problems and strife and evil and darkness. We need the tears wiped from our eyes, which he says he will do in Revelation. We need his presence. We desire his presence. We want him to surround us with his presence. And in that presence is joy and rest, a rest that surpasses any understanding we have of rest, that we cannot even begin to grasp that kind of rest. A rest in him. There is no need to worry about anything. There is nothing that can sneak up on you. There are no surprises. You are resting in God. There is no better place to rest. And we get there by grace. And we get there every day, seeking to know him more and to want him more, to learn his ways, because he's everything to us. Keep seeking and driving towards a deeper relationship with God. Don't swim on the surface of his presence. Dive deep, deep into the depths of God's love for you. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.